Welcome to Coins History. Stop right there. That Jefferson nickel in your pocket could be worth way more than just 5 cents. Some rare nickels have sold for thousands of dollars, and most people don't even realize what they're holding. A small mint mark, a rare year, or a tiny error can change everything. Before you spend another coin, watch this carefully. You might be sitting on hidden treasure. Subscribe, like, and share, and comment if you've ever checked your coins. Thanks with love for watching Coins History. Jefferson Nickel Keelboat. Rare 2004 P. Jefferson nickel, hidden treasure you might already own. Listen carefully, because this is where ordinary pocket change turns into serious money. Most people see a 5-cent coin, toss it aside, spend it without thinking. But collectors? They slow down, they look closer, and sometimes, they discover a coin that's worth more than a brand new car. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underrated hidden gems in modern U.S. coin collecting, the 2004 P. Jefferson nickel from the Westward Journey series, featuring the famous Keelboat design. And here's the shocking truth: some of these nickels are quietly selling for thousands of dollars, and the crazy part, many people still have them sitting in jars, drawers, or old collections right now. Let's break it down so you don't miss your chance. The 2004 Jefferson nickel wasn't just another coin. It was part of a special redesign celebrating the historic journey of Lewis and Clark. Instead of the usual Monticello design, the reverse features a detailed keelboat, symbolizing exploration, expansion, and American history in motion. But here's where things get serious: not every 2004 nickel is valuable. In fact, most are still worth just 5 cents. The difference between a common coin and a rare one comes down to a few critical factors, and if you miss even one, you could lose thousands. First, the mint mark. You're looking for the small P mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. That's your starting point, but it's not enough on its own. Second, and this is where big money starts showing up, condition. That we're talking about coins that look almost perfect. Sharp details on Jefferson's face, crisp lettering, no scratches, no dull surfaces. Collectors call this mint state, and the higher the grade, the higher the price. Now here's what most people don't know: some of the most valuable 2004 P. Keelboat nickels are not just in great condition, they also have rare mint errors. That we're talking about things like double strikes, off-center designs, or unusual surface textures caused during the minting process. These errors are not mistakes to collectors, they're goldmines. Imagine holding a coin where the design is slightly shifted, or the lettering appears doubled. To the average person, it might look damaged. But to a collector, that could mean serious money. And then there's luster, that bright, almost glowing shine you see on coins that were never circulated. If your nickel still has that original shine, you might be sitting on something special. Now let's talk about the number everyone cares about: valued at a regular circulated 2004 P. Jefferson nickel. Almost nothing, but a high-grade example, especially one with strong details, brilliant luster, or a rare mint error, can jump dramatically in value. Some collectors have paid between $26,000 and $42,000 for the right coin. Yes, for a 5-cent piece. That's the difference knowledge makes. So how do you check your coin right now? Start by looking at the year 2004. Then flip it over and check the design. You should see the keelboat. Next, look under the year on the front, find that small P mint mark. After that, examine the condition. Use light, tilt the coin, check for scratches, fading, or dullness, and most importantly, look for anything unusual. If something looks off, don't ignore it. That weird detail might be exactly what makes it valuable. Here's where most people fail: they assume their coins are worthless, and they never check properly. They spend them, lose them, or ignore them completely. Meanwhile, smart collectors are out there hunting, searching through rolls of coins, estate sales, old piggy banks, because they know the truth: rare coins are still out there, and every single day, someone finds one. So before you spend another nickel, stop, check your change, look again, because the next coin you hold could be worth thousands. If you want more hidden coin treasures, rare coin values, and insider tips that can help you turn pocket change into real money, make sure you stay connected. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're going to check your collection right now. Your next discovery could change everything. Jefferson nickel 1964. Jefferson nickel from Proof set, hidden fortune in plain sight. Stop what you're doing, because this might be one of the biggest hidden coin secrets you've never heard before. Right now, somewhere in a drawer, an old collection, or even a forgotten box, there's a tiny 5-cent coin quietly sitting, waiting to be discovered, and that coin could be worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're uncovering the truth about the 1964 Jefferson nickel from a Proof set, a coin that looks simple, but in reality, can be a serious moneymaker if you know exactly what to look for. Most people don't understand what a proof coin is. They think it's just another nickel, same design, same value. That's a costly mistake. Proof coins are specially made using polished dies and carefully prepared blanks. They're struck multiple times to create that deep, mirror-like surface, the kind of shine you almost never see in regular coins. When you hold a real 1964 proof nickel, it doesn't look ordinary. It looks sharp, detailed, almost like a tiny piece of art. Thomas Jefferson's portrait appears incredibly crisp, every line, every detail stands out, and when you flip it over, Monticello looks clean, bold, and perfectly defined. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1964 proof nickels are valuable. In fact, many are still worth only a few dollars. So what separates a common proof coin from one that collectors are willing to pay thousands for? The answer comes down to three powerful factors: contrast, condition, and rarity. Let's start with contrast. Some proof coins have what collectors call a cameo or even deep cameo appearance. This is where the background looks like a dark mirror, and the raised design looks frosty and bright. That contrast creates a dramatic, eye-catching effect, and collectors love it. The stronger the contrast, the higher the demand. Now let's talk about condition, and this is where most coins fail. Even a proof coin can lose value if it has scratches, fingerprints, or tiny marks. Collectors are extremely strict. They look for coins that are nearly perfect, coins that have been preserved carefully for decades. We're talking about coins that still have flawless mirror surfaces, no haze, no damage, no distractions. That level of perfection is rare, and rarity is where the real money begins. Some 1964 proof nickels have subtle minting errors, tiny doubling in the lettering, slight misalignments, or unusual strike characteristics. To an untrained eye, these might look like defects, but to collectors, they're treasures. And when you combine a high-grade condition with a strong cameo effect, or even better, a rare error, the value doesn't just increase, it explodes. Now here's the part most people miss completely. These coins originally came inside proof sets. That means many of them were stored away, untouched, preserved for years. But over time, sets get broken, coins get mixed, and valuable pieces end up in ordinary collections. That's why this opportunity still exists today. You don't need to be a professional collector, you just need to know what to look for. So here's how you check your coin. First, confirm the year. It must be 1964. Second, check the surface. A true proof coin will have a mirror-like finish. You should almost be able to see your reflection. Third, examine the contrast. Does Jefferson look frosty against a shiny background? That's a strong sign. Fourth, inspect for marks. The cleaner the coin, the more valuable it becomes. And finally, look closely for anything unusual, doubling, strange textures, anything that doesn't look standard, because sometimes, that small difference is worth thousands. Let's be real for a moment. Most people ignore coins like this every single day. They assume it's just pocket change, they never check carefully, and that's exactly why valuable coins keep slipping through the cracks. But now, you know better. Now you understand what makes this coin special. Now you have the chance to find something others overlook. And trust me, collectors are always searching. They're always looking for that one coin, the one that stands out, the one that completes a collection, and if you happen to have it, they're willing to pay. Some verified examples of high-grade 1964 Jefferson nickels from proof sets, especially those with deep cameo contrast and near-perfect surfaces, have reached values between $22,000 and $53,000. Yes, for a single nickel. So before you ignore that old coin set, before you pass over that small 5-cent piece, take a closer look, because hidden inside your collection could be a coin worth more than you ever imagined. And opportunities like this, they don't last forever. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments if you're checking your coins or if you've already found something valuable. Your next coin discovery might change your life. Jefferson nickel 1966. Listen very carefully, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you look at a simple 5-cent coin forever. Right now, somewhere in your home, maybe in an old drawer, a coin jar, or even a forgotten collection, there could be a small nickel quietly sitting, and that tiny coin could be worth thousands of dollars. Sounds crazy? It's not. Today, we're uncovering one of the most overlooked coins in U.S. history, the 1966 Jefferson nickel. A coin that millions of people ignore, but smart collectors actively hunt. And here's the truth most people don't know: this isn't just any nickel. The year 1966 was different. During that time, the U.S. Mint stopped producing traditional proof coins and instead released something called special mint sets, also known as SMS coins. These coins were made with extra care, better than regular circulation coins, but not quite the same as classic proofs, and that difference created a rare opportunity, because some of these 1966 nickels came out with exceptional quality, far better than normal coins that were talking about sharper details, smoother surfaces, and in some cases, a beautiful, almost mirror-like appearance. Now here's where things start getting serious. Not all 1966 nickels are valuable. In fact, most are still only worth 5 cents. So what separates a common coin from one that collectors are willing to pay serious money for? It comes down to precision, condition, and uniqueness. Let's break it down. When you pick up a high-quality 1966 Jefferson nickel, the first thing you'll notice is the detail. Jefferson's face looks clean, sharp, almost sculpted. There's no blurriness, no fading, every line stands out. Now flip the coin, look at Monticello. On a rare high-grade coin, the building appears crisp, with strong edges and clear structure. Even the smallest design elements are visible. That level of sharpness is not common, and collectors pay for that. Next, look at the surface. This is where many people miss the opportunity. A valuable 1966 nickel often has a smooth, almost polished look. When you tilt it under light, you may notice a soft reflection, not a full mirror like older proof coins, but something close. That's what collectors call a proof-like or high-end SMS finish, and if your coin has that, you need to pay attention. Now let's talk about condition. This is critical. Even the best coin loses value if it's scratched, worn, or damaged. Collectors want coins that look almost untouched. No fingerprints, no marks, no dull surfaces. The closer your coin is to perfect, the higher the value climbs. And here's something most people completely ignore: mint errors. Yes, even 1966 nickels can have errors, and these errors can dramatically increase value. We're talking about slight doubling in the letters, unusual textures, or minor strike issues that make the coin different from the rest. To an untrained eye, it might look like a flaw, but to a collector, it's a rare feature, and rare means valuable. Now imagine this: you have a 1966 nickel. It has sharp detail. It has a smooth, reflective surface. It looks almost perfect, and it has a small, unique minting characteristic. That combination, that's where serious money comes in. Now let's be real for a moment. Most people never check their coins like this. They don't slow down, they don't look closely. They assume every nickel is the same, and because of that, they miss opportunities every single day. Meanwhile, collectors are doing the opposite. They're searching rolls of coins. They're buying old collections. They're examining every detail, because they know something you didn't know before this video: value hides in plain sight, and coins like the 1966 Jefferson nickel prove it. So here's what you need to do right now. Go find your coins, look for the year 1966. Remember, there is no mint mark on these coins, and that's completely normal. Then examine the coin under good lighting, tilt it slowly, look for shine, look for detail, look for anything that stands out. If your coin looks better than average, don't ignore it, because that could be the difference between 5 cents and thousands of dollars. And here's the part that really matters: some high-grade 1966 Jefferson nickels from special mint sets, especially those with strong detail, smooth surfaces, and standout quality, have reached values between $22,000 and $51,000, yes, from a coin most people wouldn't even pick up off the ground. That's the power of knowledge. That's the difference between guessing and knowing. So before you spend another coin, stop, check, look closer, because the next nickel you hold might not be ordinary at all. It might be your hidden treasure. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments if you're checking your coins or if you found something valuable. Stay connected for more rare coin discoveries, because your next big find could already be in your pocket. Jefferson nickel 1972. Proof, the coin most people ignore. But collectors chase. Stop for a second, because this might be one of the most important coin discoveries you'll ever hear about. Right now, sitting quietly in collections, old boxes, or forgotten proof sets, there are 1972 Jefferson nickels that look completely ordinary, but in reality, some of them are worth thousands of dollars, and the shocking part, most people never even check. They see a 5-cent coin and move on. But today, you're going to see what others miss, because this is not just any nickel. This is the 1972 Jefferson nickel from a proof set, a coin specially made with precision, care, and detail, designed for collectors, but often overlooked by beginners. Let's break it down so you don't make that mistake. Proof coins are not like regular coins. They are struck using polished dies, on specially prepared blanks, often multiple times. The result, a coin with a deep mirror-like background, and incredibly sharp details. When you hold a real 1972 proof nickel, it stands out instantly. Jefferson's portrait looks clean, bold, almost three-dimensional. The surface reflects light like a mirror, and when you flip it over, Monticello appears crisp, detailed, and perfectly defined. But here's where things get serious. Not every 1972 proof nickel is valuable. In fact, most are only worth a few dollars. So what makes one coin worth thousands, while another stays almost worthless? It comes down to three critical factors: contrast, condition, and rarity. First, contrast. This is what collectors call cameo, or deep cameo. That's when the background is dark and mirror-like, while the design appears frosty and bright. This contrast creates a stunning visual effect. The stronger the contrast, the higher the demand, and deep cameo coins, those are the ones collectors fight over. Second, condition. This is where most coins lose their value. Even the smallest scratch, a fingerprint, or slight haze, can reduce the price dramatically. Collectors want perfection, coins that look untouched, coins that still have that original brilliance, that flawless mirror surface. The closer your coin is to perfect, the more valuable it becomes. And third, rarity. Now this is where things get really interesting. Some 1972 proof nickels have subtle variations or minting characteristics that make them stand out: slight doubling in letters, unusual finishes, or small differences in strike quality. These details are easy to miss, but they are exactly what serious collectors look for, because in the world of coins, different means valuable. Now think about this. Millions of proof sets were produced in 1972. But over time, sets get broken apart, coins get handled, scratched, or damaged. That means truly high-grade examples are becoming harder to find, and that scarcity drives the price up. So here's what you need to do. Go find your proof sets, or any old coins you have. Look for the year 1972. Then check the surface. Does it reflect like a mirror? Next, examine Jefferson's portrait. Does it look frosty compared to the background? That's a strong sign of cameo contrast. Then inspect the coin under light. Tilt it slowly. Look for marks, scratches, or haze. The cleaner it is, the better. And finally, look closely for anything unusual, anything that doesn't look standard, because that small detail could be worth thousands. Let's be honest, most people will never do this. They won't check carefully, they won't take the time, and because of that, they'll never know what they had. But now you're different. Now you know exactly what to look for. Now you have the advantage. And in coin collecting, knowledge is everything, because the difference between a common coin and a rare one is often just one small detail, and that detail can change everything. Now let's talk about what really matters: value. Some high-grade 1972 Jefferson nickels from proof sets, especially those with deep cameo contrast and near-perfect surfaces, have reached values between $22,000 and $43,000. Yes, for a single 5-cent coin. That's not hype. That's reality in the collector market. So before you ignore that old proof set, before you overlook that small coin, take a closer look, because hidden in your collection could be a coin worth more than you ever imagined. And remember, opportunities like this don't last forever. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments if you're checking your coins or if you've already found something valuable. Stay tuned for more rare coin discoveries, because your next treasure could already be in your pocket. Jefferson nickel 1974. Proof, the hidden coin most people miss. Listen closely, because what you're about to discover could completely change how you see a simple 5-cent coin. Right now, in old collections, forgotten boxes, or dusty proof sets, there are 1974 Jefferson nickels quietly sitting, and some of them are worth serious money, but here's the problem, almost nobody checks them. People see a nickel, and they move on, they don't look twice. And that's exactly why valuable coins keep getting ignored. Today, you're going to learn what others don't. This is the 1974 Jefferson nickel from a proof set, not a regular coin, not something you find in everyday change, but a specially made collector coin that has the potential to be worth thousands if you know exactly what to look for. Let's break it down the right way. Proof coins are different. They are struck using polished dies and specially prepared blanks, often multiple times. That process creates a deep mirror-like background, and incredibly sharp design. Details: when you hold a real 1974 proof nickel, it stands out immediately. Jefferson's portrait looks crisp, clean, almost three-dimensional, the surface reflects light like a mirror, and when you flip it over, Monticello appears bold, sharp, and perfectly defined. But here's where things get serious. Not every 1974 proof nickel is valuable. In fact, most are still worth only a few dollars. So what separates a common proof coin from one that collectors are willing to pay thousands for? Three things: contrast, condition, and rarity. First, contrast. This is what collectors call cameo, or deep cameo. That's when the background is dark and mirror-like, while the design appears frosty and bright. That contrast creates a powerful visual effect, and collectors love it. The stronger the contrast, the more valuable the coin becomes. Deep cameo examples, those are the ones that can bring big money. Second, condition. This is where most coins lose their value. Even a tiny scratch, a fingerprint, or slight haze can reduce the price dramatically. Collectors are extremely strict. They want coins that look almost perfect, coins that have been preserved carefully for decades. If your coin still has flawless mirror surfaces and sharp details, you may be holding something special. And third, rarity. This is where things can get really exciting. Some 1974 proof nickels show subtle minting variations or errors. We're talking about slight doubling in the lettering, unusual finishes, or minor strike differences. To most people, these look like small imperfections, but to collectors, they are exactly what makes a coin unique. And unique coins, they get attention. Now think about this. Millions of proof sets were produced in 1974. But over time, many have been opened, damaged, or mishandled. That means truly high-grade examples, especially deep cameo coins, are becoming harder to find, and when something becomes harder to find, its value goes up. That's how this works. So here's what you need to do right now. Go find your coins, look for proof sets, or any 1974 nickels you might have. Check the surface. Does it look like a mirror? Next, examine Jefferson's portrait. Does it have that frosty look compared to the background? That's a strong sign of cameo contrast. Now tilt the coin under light, look for scratches, haze, or marks. The cleaner the coin, the higher the value. And finally, inspect every detail, look for anything unusual, anything that stands out, because sometimes, that one small detail is worth thousands. Let's be honest, most people will never do this. They'll ignore their coins. They'll spend them without thinking. And they'll never realize what they had. But now, you're not most people. Now you know what to look for. Now you understand the difference, and that knowledge, that's your advantage, because in coin collecting, the smallest details create the biggest value. Now let's talk about what really matters, the price. Some high-grade 1974 Jefferson nickels from proof sets, especially those with deep cameo contrast, sharp details, and near-perfect surfaces, have reached values between $22,000 and $36,000, yes, from a coin most people wouldn't even look at twice. So, before you ignore that old proof set, before you overlook that small 5-cent coin, take a closer look, because hidden in your collection could be a coin worth more than you ever imagined. And opportunities like this, they don't last forever. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments if you're checking your coins or if you found something valuable. Stay connected for more rare coin discoveries, because your next treasure could already be in your pocket.